The drifting cruiser moved through a region where no star cast a kind light and where broken signals echoed like ghosts across empty distances. Its hull was torn, and its engines were silent, and the crew knew that the cold would soon claim them. They were travelers from a gentle union of worlds who believed in trade and calm diplomacy. And now they were far from any friendly port. The ship had been attacked by raiders who cared nothing for treaties or mercy. The raiders had stripped the cargo and crippled the cruiser before leaving it to fade into darkness. Life support still worked, but not for long, and the captain, named Eris, walked through dim halls while counting the hours that remained. Crew members gathered in the main chamber where soft blue lights flickered. Some held hands while others stared at the floor, and none spoke of rescue because hope had become a painful thing. The only sounds were the low hum of failing systems and the quiet breathing of beings who did not want to be forgotten. Eris checked the last outgoing beacon and knew that it would not be answered by any nearby ally. The region was too far from known lanes, and the raiders had chosen it for that reason. In silence, the crew prepared to meet the end with dignity, even though fear pressed hard against their thoughts. Then a new signal appeared on the sensor board. At first it was only a whisper, but it grew into a clear reading that made the crew look up with startled eyes. Something large was approaching, and it was not one of the raider ships. The shape that emerged from the dark was vast and armored like a moving fortress. Its engines glowed with steady power, and its hull bore markings that the crew did not recognize. A single word in an unknown script shone across its side, and that word belonged to a species called human. The human warship moved with calm purpose and slowed as it drew near to the drifting cruiser. A transmission arrived in a clear, strong voice that spoke in a universal trade language. The voice said that the humans had detected a distress signal and had come to offer help. For a moment, no one on the cruiser could speak. Eris felt a wave of disbelief because no one had expected such a meeting. The humans were said to be distant and fierce, and yet here they were, offering aid without delay. Eris replied with gratitude, and explained the damage that the ship had suffered. The human voice answered with confidence and said that repair teams were already preparing. Docking clamps extended from the warship, and soon the two vessels were linked, like lifelines across the void. Human engineers crossed into the cruiser wearing suits marked with symbols of their fleet. They moved with speed and care and began restoring power to broken systems. Crew members watched in awe as lights returned and air flowed freely again. One of the humans was named Eli, and he spoke gently while working. He said that humans believed no one should be left alone in deep space. That simple statement filled the chamber with a warmth that no heater could provide. As repairs continued, Eris learned more about the human vessel. It was called a warship, yet it carried medical bays and rescue craft as well as weapons. Humans built their ships to face danger, but also to protect those who could not defend themselves. The raiders who had attacked the cruiser were still somewhere in the region. Human sensors tracked them with ease, and a small fleet of drones moved to intercept. The humans did not speak with anger, but with steady resolve when they said they would ensure that the raiders could not harm anyone again. The crew of the cruiser felt a mixture of relief and wonder. They had been ready to fade into nothing, and now they were surrounded by capable allies. The human warship was like a guardian that had arrived at the final moment. Soon the raiders were caught and disabled by precise actions that showed no cruelty, but no hesitation either. Human pilots guided their craft with skill that turned chaos into order. When the threat was gone, the region felt quieter and safer than it had been in years. Eris was invited to visit the human warship. He walked through wide halls where humans worked side by side with machines. There was a sense of unity and purpose that pressed him deeply. The leader of the human ship was named Tom, and he greeted Eris with a firm, respectful nod. Tom spoke of a belief that humanity carried, which said that strength meant nothing without compassion. Those words explained everything that Eris had seen since the humans arrived. The cruiser was soon ready to travel again. Human crews shared supplies and offered guidance for a safe route back to friendly space. They refused any payment and said that helping was simply the right thing to do. As the two ships prepared to part, Eris looked at the human warship one last time. It had come from nowhere to save strangers and had done so without seeking praise. In that moment, Eris knew that the stories told about humans would change forever. The cruiser jumped to a safe path, through the stars with renewed hope. Behind it, the human warship turned back toward the dark, ready to answer the next silent call. In a universe filled with danger, there was now a legend of a species that refused to let others perish alone.